we're going to multiply and divide integers. And you can abbreviate multiply and divide. When we multiply and divide integers, here's the steps that we're going to do. There's two of them. First step is just to multiply, multiply or divide the numbers. If it's a multiply problem, you multiply. If it's divide, you divide. And that's a symbol for numbers. Pound and an S. Second step is to count the negative signs. Count the negative signs. And what you have to remember is that two negative signs cancel. Two negative signs cancel each other. And I'll just box that in. And these are our steps. Multiply and divide the numbers, then count the negative signs. Two negative signs cancel. Now, rather than use numbers, I'm going to use letters. And we'll go all the way up to the letter K, A through K. So here's our first example, negative 3 times 4. Okay, remember, our steps are multiply or divide, and then count the negatives. Two negatives cancel. So I multiply 3 times 4, that's 12, and I count the negatives. There's one negative, so the answer is negative. Two of them cancel. I don't have two of them. I do have one, so the answer is negative. Here's letter B, negative 3 times negative 4. Our first step is just multiply. 3 times 4, and then I count the negatives. I have 1, 2 of them cancel. So it's just positive 12. Letter C, we have 3 times negative 4. First multiply. 3 times 4, count the negatives. There's one negative sign. So the answer is negative. Letter D is negative 3 times negative 4 times negative 1. Our first step is to multiply. 3 times 4 is 12, times 1 is 12. Now we count the negatives. I have 1, 2, 3. Two of them cancel. These two cancel, and you're still left with one negative. So the answer is negative. Two cancel, you're still left with one. So it's negative. Letter F, this is a division problem. 8 divided by negative 4. First we divide. 8 divided by 4, or 4 goes into 8, twice. I count my negatives. I have one negative. The answer is negative then. If there's only one, if there was two of them, it would cancel. Negative 8 over negative 4. So first we divide. 4 goes into 8 twice. Now I count my negatives. I have your negative signs. I have one negative sign, two negative signs. Two negatives cancel. So you're just left with positive 2. Letter H is a tricky one. The answer is not 2. The answer is not negative 2. First of all, I have one negative, so I know my answer is negative. But 4 divided by 8, this can be reduced to 1/2. The answer is 1/2, and there's one negative, so it's negative 1/2. Okay, I'm nearing the bottom of my paper, so I'm going to go up to the top. This is letter I. It's negative 1 times negative 8 divided by negative 4. Well, 1 times 8, that's just 8. And 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now what we need to do is count the negatives. We divided, multiplied, divided. Now we can't count the negatives. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. 3 negatives. 2 of them cancel. You still have 1 left over. So it's negative 2. 2 negatives will cancel. Even if they're up and down, or if they're sideways, it doesn't matter which ones. Any 2 will cancel. You have 1 left over. On letter K, this is the last example. We'll find the average. How to find the average with negative numbers. So we have 5 numbers. And we want to find the average of these 5 numbers. So let's total up our positive, total up our negative, and total up our positive. I have a negative 4, I have a negative 3, and I have a negative 7. Okay, if you put those together, 4 and 3, that's 7, negative 7. And then another negative 7. 4, 3 is 7, and another negative 7 makes negative 14. Those 3 added together makes negative 14. Same sign, just add them. For the positives, I have 0 and 4, that's just 4. Okay, so how much is negative 14 and 4? Because I have to add all these up and then divide by 5, because there's 5 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total them and add, divide by 5. So negative 14 and 4, let's see, they're different signs, so I subtract. 14 take away 4 is 10. And there's more negative. So negative 10. That's our total, adding all those up. And if you wanted to, you could have just put pluses in there and add it all up. Okay, so that's our total. Now what we need to do is to divide that by 10, or I'm sorry, by 5. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I divide that by 5. And that comes out to be 5 goes into 10 twice, and there's 1 left over. That is our average. We added them all up, totaled them, and divide by 5. -2 is the average of all these numbers. And I'm going to box some of these in, just so it's neat for me. And you can do the same if you wish. Okay, very good.